Okay, part-to-whole relationships. Take a second, underline what you think is important, the how-to, and then come back and highlight with us. Okay, so the how-to. To solve a percentage problem described in words, you must identify 3 important quantities, right? The percent, the whole, and the part of the whole. So if it's words, you need to identify. You need the percent, you need the part, and you need the whole, right? What they mean by that is percentage is always part of something, right? So 50% would be only 1/2 of something. 25% would be only 1/4 of something, or 25 out of 100, right? So if you're saying that you got 99% correct on a test, that means that you got 99% that part out of that 100%, right? Are all of our tests out of 100 questions? No. So then you got to find those ratios, okay? So the example they give is they say that 40% of the total 8th graders are boys, right? And that's 220 boys. So what they want to know is what's the total number of 8th graders? This part right here, that's crazy. So I'm going to break it down for you, okay? So they say if 220 students are 40% of the 8th graders, then, right, so we're going to make a table here. 40% of the students are 220. Right, so 220 students would be the boys, and that's the 40%. Our goal is to find the 100%, right? So how many students do we have total out of one, like the whole thing? Okay, so it's hard to go from 40, it's hard to go from 40 to 100, so they actually work backwards to go forwards. They know that they can divide by 4 to get 10%, right? If I do it to one side, I do it to the other, divide by 4. This gives me 55 students, right? Then I can work forwards. I can go from 10 to 100. All I got to do is times by 10. If I times by 10 on this side, this will give me 550 students total. Oh my God, my handwriting, I'm so sorry. Okay, so working backwards, they're saying that 40%, this is the boys, right? 100%, that's the total students. That means that 220 are boys out of 550 total students, okay? The other way that you can solve this, right, so there's a table. The other way that you can solve this is you can write ratios, right? So 40%, percents are always out of 100, right? So 40 out of 100. I know that it's 220 boys out of I don't know how many there are total, okay? They found this number, this giant one, remember that? So if they need to know how to go this way, right? They say, what do I multiply to go from 40 to 220? Now, if it's not a nice number, I don't know this, right? What you can do, again, is work backwards to go forwards. So what they did was they took 220, divided by 40, and that gives you 5 and 5/10, 5.5, right? So if this going this direction, right, this direction, I divide by 5.5. That means going this direction to the right, I multiply by 5.5, right? So if I do that there, I multiply by 5.5 there. There's my giant 1, and it will give me 550 students. Okay, we'll do